Every year, thousands of aspiring entrepreneurs pour lakhs of rupees into aesthetic cafes, D2C fashion brands, and boutique restaurants. They hire interior designers, build perfect Instagram walls, and then sit behind the counter waiting for foot traffic that rarely covers the rent. Meanwhile, someone in that exact same city is quietly making millions a month washing hospital bedsheets or collecting industrial scrap. You won't see them on a podcast, and they aren't looking for angel funding. This exposes the primary trap of the modern startup mindset. Most people make business decisions based on ego and social validation. They want a label they can brag about. The wealthy make decisions based on equity. They look for systems that reliably spit out cash, regardless of what the actual work looks like. The math separating these two paths is ruthless. A trendy restaurant has to convince new people to walk through the door every single day just to survive. A commercial laundry service signs an annual contract with a hotel chain and gets paid automatically every single month for the next 3 years. That shift from chasing one-time transactions to locking in guaranteed recurring revenue creates a significant advantage. In the Indian market, prioritizing a boring, predictable system over a high-prestige brand moves you away from speculative growth and towards sustainable cash flow. To strip away the social media hype and measure whether a business is actually viable, we have to look at this chart. This is the ICE matrix, an objective framework for evaluating business models. The first axis is impact. This represents the absolute profit ceiling. Can this model scale to generate massive cash flow, or are you capped by your own physical output? The x-axis is confidence. This measures demand stability. Are you selling a luxury people cut during a recession, or an absolute operational necessity that secures recurring contracts? Finally, the size of the bubble represents ease. This tracks the initial friction, how much upfront capital or specialized technical skill you need just to get the doors open. Applying this framework to specific Indian B2B and B2C models reveals the distinct operational trade-offs required to build a reliable wealth machine. Let's start with raw real estate. If you own unused land or a dead commercial plot in a congested hub like Bangalore or Mumbai, you possess a massive advantage. You don't need to build a multi-story complex to see a return. You can monetize that empty plot purely as utility space by turning it into a combined parking and EV charging station. You partner with grid providers to install the charging infrastructure, and you collect recurring revenue from both the parking lease and the power consumption. The trade-off here is steep. You secure high impact and high confidence because urban parking is scarce, but the barrier to entry is high. It requires significant upfront capital, and your success hinges on the binary risk of choosing a high-density location. If your space is indoors, like a dead basement or an empty hall, you apply the same logic. Instead of vehicles, you divide the space by partitioning the floor plan into micro-storage units. You lease these small, secure segments to local e-commerce sellers and distributors who lack warehouse space. You generate fixed rental income with zero inventory risk, since you are only selling the space itself. In exchange, you accept high-security overhead, and you lock up the long-term liquidity of your property. Whether outdoor or indoor, space monetization demands heavy upfront investment and geographic rigidity. In exchange, you gain a physical, asset-backed revenue stream that is historically more stable than retail. If you lack the capital for real estate, you have to trade your sweat instead. This brings us to active blue-collar operational services. These are the gritty, physical tasks that large corporate infrastructures simply cannot function without. Consider commercial laundry and cleaning. Hospitals, 3-star hotel networks, and factories require thousands of uniforms, sheets, and floors cleaned daily. A smart operator skips the retail consumer entirely and secures annual maintenance contracts directly with these institutions. You are not doing the washing yourself. You take on the intense friction of hiring, managing, and retaining manual labor. You absorb that headache, and in return, you secure deeply locked-in B2B billing with high-demand confidence. Pest control operates on the exact same logic. Every FSSAI-regulated cloud kitchen, food factory, and housing society has a legal mandate to maintain hygiene. If a health inspector finds one rat, the kitchen is shut down. That legal mandate gives you extreme pricing leverage. The client is buying urgent problem resolution, not shopping for discounts. The sacrifice is that you take on severe liability if your chemicals fail, and your crews will often work grueling off-hour graveyard shifts. Then there is modern scrap management. You act as a B2B aggregator, collecting discarded IT components and industrial metal from corporate parks, and funneling that material directly to large-scale recycling plants. Selling raw, recycled materials to major manufacturers scales incredibly fast. But to access that cash flow, you have to navigate an unorganized logistics network and completely ignore the social stigma attached to being a scrap dealer. These operations-heavy contracts force you to manage labor stress and give up your free time. By absorbing the messy problems corporations want to ignore, you build a resilient business with exceptional demand stability. The alternative to managing a massive workforce is removing human labor from the equation entirely, relying instead on hardware or code to deliver the service. Look at this graph tracking a day of transactions for a smart vending machine or an RO water ATM. By placing UPI-enabled machines inside captive environments like locked IT parks or railway stations, the hardware captures constant microsales 24/7 with zero staffing costs. It is highly automated and easy to run, but the vulnerability is high. If a competitor outbids you for that specific spot, or you lose the lease, your revenue instantly hits zero. You own the hardware, but you are at the mercy of the location. B2B equipment rental is another hardware approach. A builder doesn't want to buy a 3 lakh rupee concrete cutter for a 10-day project. So you purchase heavy construction tools or expensive media equipment specifically to lease out. Your gear will get damaged and the assets will depreciate. But once a tool completes enough rental cycles to cover its initial purchase price, every subsequent booking becomes near 100% pure profit. Code takes this even further. MicroSaaS involves building simple, single-function software. Think of a lightweight CRM bot that helps local gym owners track attendance, or a scheduling app for dental clinics. Once the software is written, your marginal cost to add 1,000 new users is effectively zero, offering infinite scalability. The catch is the high technical skill barrier required to build it, combined with the difficulty of finding the right product-market fit. Asset-light models eliminate the headaches of managing human labor. You trade steep upfront technical and capital barriers for high scalability and automated delivery. Moving back to the retail consumer, it is possible to build wealth selling directly to individuals, but only if the model mimics B2B subscription behavior. This means executing hyper-local services. You deliver 20-liter drinking water jars directly to doors inside a specific high-rise complex, or you provide scheduled, waterless ceramic car washes for vehicles parked in the same luxury building. By concentrating your logistics and delivering extreme, unwavering reliability, you secure fierce customer loyalty. That loyalty translates directly into weekly recurring revenue from a tight group of residents. The limitation is built into the model. If you try to scale this beyond your specific PIN code, your travel times increase, your logistics break, and you invite competition from well-funded delivery apps willing to burn cash. Premium consumer services demand that you trade wide geographic scalability for defensible local market dominance. The defining rule across all these models is simple. When evaluating a business idea, stop asking what the profit margin is. Start asking exactly how many times the same customer will pay you. This matrix maps focus based on resources. Capital rich but time poor? Optimize for ease. Buy vending machines, lease equipment, or parking spaces. Time rich but funds short? Tackle operational contracts like pest control, car washes, or micro-storage. Have technical skills? Build micro-SaaS tools for B2B headaches. The market does not care about your ego, your aesthetics, or how cool your business looks on social media. It pays for reliability and solved problems. By accepting the operational realities of a boring business, you build the systems necessary for a very exciting bank account.